Why do the stars shine so bright in the sky if most of the people are sleeping at night?
Hello crafters, and welcome to another video with Amy Makes That. Today's tutorial, we are doing a Cricut project on how to make wedding invitations with the foil kit. I have been desperately wanting to make a video on the Cricut foil kit, and I figured what better way to do invitations with them, especially with wedding season coming up. I know there are a lot of Cricut brides this year and for next year. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so excited you're here for today's tutorial. If you are interested in Cricut tips, Cricut projects, design space tips, and craft business tips, then please subscribe to my channel because I post new videos every single week. And I don't want to give too much away, but I will be launching another platform very, very soon that I'm so excited to announce. So let's stop talking and get into the tutorial. Alright, we're in Cricut Design Space, and here's the invitation I made. I love it so much. I'm unhiding the duplicate I made from before to show you the fonts I used. Now, I'm not explaining everything because this project is simply typing out the information and changing the font. I do go over this in a lot of my previous Cricut project videos, so if you are a beginner, then check out my other content. But this pretty script font is Elegant from Creative Fabrica, which will be linked in the video description, and I aligned all of the text in the middle, FYI. So type out the names in the text box and click the font box to find the font. If you do need help downloading fonts, I also have plenty of font videos on my channel that I will put a card here for. Then I adjusted the line spacing because the names were too far apart for my liking. Press the down arrow button to adjust it, and then I clicked the text button again to type out the phrase, "Invite you to celebrate their love and marriage," and this is in the font Avenir Next. This font automatically comes with your computer, laptop, so you don't have to download or transfer it into Cricut Design Space. And I made it in all caps because I personally like that style, but again, all of these little details are a personal preference and completely customizable to your liking. So I minimized the size of the text and then adjusted the letter spacing a bit so it's not squished together. Then I aligned it in the center, of course, and this is basically how you'll continue with the rest of the invitation. It does get repetitive, and I really want to get into showing how to use the foil kit. So I deleted all of that. Once your entire design is ready, we will make our arch. Now, Cricut Design Space makes this so easy because they already have an arch shape in their shapes, but you do have to flip it vertically because it is upside down. This step is really important because the Cricut is going to make two passes when you are using the foil kit. The first is the foil part, and the second is to cut the arch. I changed the color and adjusted the size, and this will all depend on what size you want the invitation to be. I made the size around 5x7. That is the typical A7 size. Just make sure that whatever size you choose, it will fit in the envelopes that you get. So you leave a little wiggle room and you're not squeezing it in the envelope. So I'll send the arch to the back and the text will show, and then I can center it all. Make sure it is in the exact place you want it because this is how the Cricut will cut it all. Click on the text and then weld it. Next, we are going to change it from basic cut to foil. To do this, you will select the text. So under operation, you'll see under draw, there's the foil option. Now you can choose fine, medium, or bold, and here you'll see on the foil kit, which I will show you in a little bit, there are 3 lines for the bold, 2 for the medium, and 1 for the thin, which makes it really easy. Personally, I did the medium. I didn't want it to be too bold or too thin. I figured the medium would be the perfect happy medium. Ha. I'm so funny. Anyway, once everything is centered and perfectly aligned, you will highlight everything and click the attach button. But you'll see on the right hand side now the weld result is in medium foil, so it is no longer a basic cut, and the arch is a basic cut. So again, those are the 2 processes and 2 passes that the Cricut is going to do when we are cutting it all. Then we can click Make It. Now I like to move my project a little bit to the right and a little bit down. I don't like it get too close to the red marks because if Cricut likes to mess it up, then I don't waste anything. Then we will click continue, and here we're setting our base material. This all depends on the kind of cardstock you got. Mine says it right on the actual label of the cardstock. It was 100 pounds, so I selected 2 heavy cardstock 100 pounds. And here it shows you the exact process. Like I said before, you will take out that fine blade and you will change it to the foil, and then mid-cut you will insert the fine point blade and it will cut the arch. So let's switch over to my desk. This is the lovely foil kit. It is so gorgeous, and this is the foil. The foil kit does come with a very small amount of foil, but I got the bigger size because obviously I was making a few invitations and wanted to be larger. This was in the clearance section of Michael's. I loved the color and it worked out great. So here's the foil kit, and I showed you before, these are the 3 blades that you can work with. Make sure that you choose the right one. So if you did choose the bold setting, make sure you choose the one with the 3 rings. In this case, we're choosing the medium one, so we're choosing the 2-ring one. And it's so easy to do. It comes with the insert, and then the little blades just magnetically pop in and out. So here I have my medium point blade and I'm placing it inside, and then I'm opening up my Cricut clamp B and inserting the foil kit blade. The next step is to place our cardstock onto the mat. Now for this project, it is 5x7. You could do 2 at a time. I did this before, but just for the purpose of this video, I'm only cutting the 1. And then I use my brayer tool, of course, to press it all down. Now before I was showing you where it was aligned because I don't want to waste any foil. So I kind of mentally checked in my brain where the measurements were. I am cutting little slits of the foil and prepping it for my paper cutter. Now the foil is very, very flimsy and sensitive, so don't go too fast when you're using the paper cutter. You'll see it kind of like bunches up at first, but don't be afraid, it will not ruin it. So I cut the one side and then I cut the other side. And now my foil is ready to be adhered to the cardstock. Now in order to adhere it, the foil kit always comes with this tape. If you don't want to use this tape, you can use painter's tape. It worked great for me personally. I know some people didn't like it. For taping, it is very important not to tape onto the mat. I kind of did and couldn't really help it, but try and tape it to the cardstock. Make sure that when you are taping it, it is flat. You don't want it to be too loose because like you'll see when I have the tape, I'm kind of pulling it as I tape it down. So that way it is completely flat. And it's normal to have some little open space areas and that's okay. It's going to happen. Just try and get it as flat as possible. So try and take that tape before pressing it down, pull it. Don't pull it too much because then you'll really rip off the foil. So now it is adhered to the cardstock and we can insert it into the Cricut. We will click the arrow button and the first step is for it to foil. Depending on your project, the amount of text, it might take a while. For me, it only took maybe about 7 minutes per se. It wasn't that crazy of a time, but it was really cool to see how the foil kit actually worked. I gave you a little close up so you can see. But now once it's done, this is the most important part. The Cricut will push out the mat and make you want to click the arrow button, but you will not press the arrow button at all. You will remove the tape and the foil, because if you remove that mat, what happens is the Cricut is going to have a completely different alignment from when it first scanned it from before, and it's not going to cut it as accurately. So make sure you don't press the arrow or Cricut button until you remove the foil and tape, and then remove the foil blade from the clamp B. You will insert your basic fine cut blade, and then you can press the Cricut button for it to make the second pass, which is to cut the arch. And that took about maybe 5 seconds, and you can see it cut perfectly and the foil came out so amazing. It is so satisfying to rip off that foil and see the result of it. And look at how gorgeous these invitations came out. But the really cool part here, to store your blade, you can take out the little blade from the housing, and in your Cricut, if you didn't know this, at least for my Cricut Maker, there are these little magnets, and I can place all 3 of those blades on that magnetic part and then place the blade right in front of it. So it's stored in my Cricut. I don't have to have it laying around and then lose it. But I am obsessed with the foil kit and these invitations, and let's get into the outro. Thank you everyone so much for watching today's tutorial, and let me know if you've tried the Cricut foil kit. If you decide to create some kind of invitation or any project with the foil kit, then please tag me on my Instagram. I always love reposting and seeing your projects. Click my subscribe button to see more content like this weekly from me. I hope you're all having an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Let's go get lost. You know